Hello, it's Denise, Minty Grey Mama, and I have an unboxing video today. I am so excited because I've gotten a deck in the mail from Kickstarter, and it is it's only the second deck. I'm just gonna rip into it. It's only the second deck that I've backed on Kickstarter. Okay, no, that doesn't sound right. Of all the decks I've backed on Kickstarter, this is only the second one that I've ever gotten. Tarot in Space was the first one. I'm so excited. Oh my gosh. Ooh. Yay. And it came in this, I got this big box in the mail. I knew it was on its way, but I didn't realize it was going to be here today. I spent the entire day doing a garage sale, and it was amazing. And yes. Okay. All right. So I actually got, let's see. So I got the level where I got two, two decks and guidebooks. So I don't need to open both of them, although I will eventually unwrap the other one. I don't know why I was like, oh yeah, I need two decks. Oh my gosh, this was before I went into my whole minimizing mode, but I'm just excited to have it. Oh my goodness. Let me see. Alright, and so this is the Numinous Tarot, yeah, by Noel Heimpel, I want to say. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Heimpel? Noel Arthur Heimpel. And this is the second edition, I believe. If what does it say? Surely it'll say probably inside. And I believe this is the second edition because I had seen pictures of this in a Facebook group that I was in, and just they really spoke to me. But so I kind of was familiar with it, and then when I saw this pop up on Kickstarter, I was like, yes, yes, I want to be a part of that. So let's see. So, and this is a sticker, I believe, that came in my package. Is the lovers. Lovers. Isn't that gorgeous? Oh my gosh, I love that. Oh, that'll have to go in my journal. All right, so it says a vibrant magical deck and guidebook for everyone. The Numinous Tarot is a 79-card deck and 126-page guidebook written for readers of all levels, including beginners. Both the deck and guidebook feature gender-neutral language, taking tarot beyond binary thinking and into a full spectrum of representation. Detailed watercolor illustrations bring to life a mystical exploration of the stories we tell about ourselves and our lives. Expressive and emotional, this deck will guide you through whatever path you walk during this lifetime. Isn't that amazing? That's just what we need right now, right? The world needs that. The world needs more, inclusivity, if that's a thing. Is that a word? Anyway. All right. Okay, so it is in like a giant tuck box. Oops. Okay, so it comes in like this. It's a colorful box, but I'm probably not going to keep it because it's like one of those that I wouldn't put something back into, but it is pretty. And it's fairly sturdy, even though I don't know if so my box came to me like this, like the post office is like it got squished, in the mail. But the boxes themselves, I mean, they were wrapped in bubble wrap, and the box seems pretty sturdy, so they both seem unharmed, which is nice because I was going to be pretty upset if I waited so long for a Kickstarter deck and it just got squished on my way here. But it did it. It looks fine. So, okay, so here's the guidebook. The Numinous Tarot Guidebook by Noel Arthur Heimpel. And so it is, let's see, looks like it is 126 pages. It is, it's got a little about this deck, how to read tarot, so that's nice that that's in there. So when it says on the back it's for beginners, this truly is, it looks like, has a section so you can use this if it's your first deck. I'm definitely going to read that because that looks, it goes into like the Fool's Journey. I always like to hear everybody's thoughts on the tarot and the Fool's Journey. There's a little thing about Journey of the Tarot Court, which I love to hear, especially from the deck creators. Like, it just, you know, I love decks where I have that like little peek into what people were thinking or what, you know, what the decks that they created. I just love that. Okay, so let's see, it looks like the suits in here are, says the suits in this deck are different from the traditional swords, wands, pentacles, and cups. Okay, so bells are swords, which is air, which I can get because when you make a sound in the air. Candles are wands, which are fire. Tomes are pentacles, which is earth. And vials are cups, which is water. And there's probably like a lot of you out there, I'm sure, you know, might be already familiar with this deck. Like I said, I'm fairly certain, and I should have checked, but I was just so excited I want to rip into the box. But I think this is a second edition, which I think is one of the reasons I ended up backing this deck, because I was like, yeah, after my experience like waiting for ages for my last Unicorn Tarot deck, which why won't it just get here already? I wanted to back a deck that I was like, yeah, this one's going to be done. I can feel it in a reasonable amount of time. And it was, and I'm so happy. Okay, so let's see. And it has key themes for each, like it has a journey for each of the suits and key themes for those, which is really cool. Tarot spreads. Ooh, reading for the self versus others. I just want to read this. I'm going to read this tonight. You know, and I'm actually doing like a little reading event tomorrow, and I've been wondering like, what deck am I going to bring? And I keep changing my mind, and now that I got this in the mail, I'm like, oh, I want to I want to bring this one. We'll see. We'll see. Oh, look at this. So it looks like, so there's the bell spread and the tome spread, candle spread, and vial spread. So one for each suit, and then universal messages spread. I love that. All right, so then it looks like for the majors, there's like about 2 pages for each of the major arcana. So there's like a little black and white representation of the card, and then description, upright meaning, reversed meaning, with keywords for both upright and reversed. And that goes on, I'm sure, for all majors. And then the, ooh, and then, okay, so the extra card, it looks like, is the Numinous. Oh, cool. Oh, very cool. Okay. I'm going to try to remember that I'm doing a video and not just sit here and read this book. All right, so then we have, oh, interesting. Okay, so it looks like, interestingly enough, and I'm sure this is explained earlier, you know, I haven't read the book yet, but then in the guidebook, it starts out with the court cards and then moves into the ace through the 10 of the suit. So we have, for bells, the dreamer of bells, the explorer of bells, creator of bells, and the mystic of bells. And then the ace through 10. So that's interesting. And I know there was a section about the court cards earlier in the book, so this is like a nice size book. Like it has a lot of information. Looks like each of the minors has, you know, their like a black and white or grayscale card representation, fairly decent size, and then an upright and reversed meaning, but just on one page for the minors instead of the and the court cards instead of the two pages for the majors. And yep. That's pretty cool. And then that's it. And then it's just the last card and then it ends. So yeah, this is a great size book. I feel like I can definitely get, you know, read the whole thing at least once and not be overwhelmed, but it still has a lot of good information. So on to the cards. Okay. So they come in this little plastic thing, which I will not be keeping them in because they're just too pretty for that. I'm going to have to find and I actually, lucky for me, because I've been rehoming a lot of my decks, which I did today. I rehomed a lot of my decks. I'm so happy. Because I was minimizing. Now I have some extra beautiful tarot bags I can use for this deck. Okay. So here we go. We have this gold gilding on the edges, the gold edges, super shiny. Woohoo! And see, these are the backs. So it's a beautiful like watercolor, like blue to pink with this symbols on it. And I'm going to read the book. Hopefully I can find out what that is because I've seen it several times now. So I'm sure it's super important. So like it's on the back of the book. That's the back of the card basically. Oops. In the back. And then it's also in the book. I'm just trying to, maybe, is it initials? I don't know. It's like a moon. I don't know. It's interesting and I really want to know what that's about. But moving on to the actual, well, let me check that. Seems like it's pretty decent cardstock. I mean, it's not like a matte, you know, finish or anything. It's definitely like a shiny finish. I've become super preferential to the matte cardstock. I don't know why, because I don't know why it makes a difference, but ooh, I'm gonna have to click them apart. Okay, so we're starting with, so when the cards come, they're all of the first, like the first four, all the creator cards. And so now I'm gonna have to refer back to guidebook because I've already forgotten. So interesting. Okay, so I don't know that these are in particular order, but it looks like the first court card is the dreamer, the explorer, the creator, and the mystic. So it's just in its own order. So I have creator of bells. So I think if they are in the order that I think they are in, and I might have to look this up, but the creator should be like the queen, which makes sense, like as the creator, you know? Yeah, okay, so here we go. It does say in here under the court cards. So dreamers are the pages, explorers are the knights, creators are the queens, and mystics are the kings. So there we go. So these are all basically the queens of their respective suits. So this would be like the queen of air. And I do like how, okay, so it has the bells, and I totally am cool with that, and I'm excited to read more about that symbolism. But then it also has like the feathers and the bird, you know, so you get a lot of that air energy in here. And I just love the artwork. Okay, that's amazing. That is amazing. Creator of candles. You really do get that fiery energy. You even have sunflowers. Creator of tomes. And see, this is why I am going to love this deck. This is like, the Next World Tarot has been like totally like my best friend lately because there's just so much stuff going on in the world and I just need that like energy, and I think this is going to be a lot like that. See, it's like the creator of tomes. So it's a queen of earth, but it's a guy. Like, I just find that refreshing. I don't know. I like it. And it's such a Beautiful artwork. And this is a creator of vials. All right, so here are the dreamers. So this would be the pages. And they are sticking together quite a bit, but they're coming apart really easy. So like, you can see like this is like one stack, but like they just are coming right apart with no issues. They're not like, they're stuck together, but it's just barely, like I'm just barely having to pull them apart. Dreamer of Bells. I love that. Dreamer of Candles. And Dreamer of Tones. I love that stained glass there. Very cool. And Dreamer of Vials. I'm just trying to... It's interesting. Oops, that was like... I'm just trying to look at the yellow and see what that is. I'm going to have to spend a lot more time with this deck. So this is the Explorer. So I'm going to assume that's night. Let me, yeah, the night. Which sounds a lot like, Explorer. Like it gives me a very, oh, and look at this one. There we go. Explorer candles. It looks like a knight on a, maybe a salamander. Which would make sense, because if it was a salamander for the fire energy, so that would be interesting. Okay, and just, there we go. Explorer of Tomes. I'm gonna try not to take too long on these, but Explorer of Vials. I love that's a mermaid. Yay. And the Mystics. Okay, so Mystic of Bells. Okay, and so she looks like she's in a wheelchair. Mystic of Candles. Mystic of Tomes. I gotta love the tomes, like the books, like that just, I love that. Like I really, really do. Oh, so exciting. Okay. it's just taking a little bit because there we go. I just want to be as gentle as possible because I know once I get them apart, like they're going to be fine. I just don't want to like rip them apart and damage any cards. There we go. Mystic of Vials. And that is, I believe, all the court cards. Let's see. So, Dreamers, Creators, Explorers, and Mystics. Okay, so here we are in the majors. And this is the Fool. I love that Fool card. That's just like really descriptive of it. Just like, look, there's like a rainbow and everything's great. And there's like giant waves crashing into the rocks. And there's a storm out there. And it's just like, diving off the edge. Oh, okay. So that was the Fool. I'm going to set that over here because now I'm into the aces. It's just an adventure. We're in an adventure in the deck today. So the Ace of Bells, Ace of Candles, Ace of Tomes, and Ace of Vials. Okay, and now we have the Magician. I'm just going to go with the flow wherever this deck is going to take me. The Diviner instead of the High Priestess. Okay, and the Two of Bells. So we're in the twos now. I kind of have a feeling, so it's like the two from the major and then all the twos, you know? So I kind of see a pattern here. Two of Candles. Okay. Oh, okay. So I was trying to figure out what this was, but it looks like it's like a support of some sort, or like a cane, but it has candles on it. Oh, that's interesting. Two of Tomes. Two of Vials. I like that one. And then we have our Empress, or the Nurturer. And then we have our threes. Three of Bells and Candles. Oh, wow. And Three of Tomes. And the Three of Vials. The Four of Bells. Four of Candles. Four of Tomes. And the Four of Vials. That's an interesting one. But it does really give me a Four of Cups vibe, just the expression on the face. You know, I like that. And then we have our Four, which is the Founder in this deck. And the Five of Bells. Interesting. And Five of Candles. I can totally get that Five of Wands, like conflict energy. Like, just like the faces are so expressive, I think, in this deck. The Five of Tomes. Oh no, is she burning books to stay warm? Oh my goodness. I just can't wait to read the book on this one. Five of Vials. And five, the Visionary. Oh my gosh, I love that. Like, the Hierophant is like the one that I look for in a deck, and I love this one. I love the crown of crystals and all the elemental symbols right there. Love that. And we have the sixes, Six of Bells, Six of Candles, Six of Tomes. Oh, the little free library. Love those. Six of Vials. And our Lover's card. That was my little sticker. I love that one. And Seven of Bells. That's interesting. Seven of Candles. Seven of Tomes. Oh. And Seven of Vials. And our Chariot card. Almost. All right. That's interesting. It's like a unicorn. Trying to see, like, oh, okay, so no, there are two. It's weird because I could have really only see this one when I was first looking, but there's one right there too, like a darker one, hiding behind her hair. And then the eights. Eight of Bells. Eight of Candles. Interesting. It's like hyacinths. And interesting. Eight of Tomes. And Eight of Vials. And Strength. That's an interesting Strength card. So you have a guy and a bear. Huh. It's really interesting. Like, I'm gonna have to sit with that one a while. there's a lot going on in that card that's not like very, you know, familiar imagery for strength for me. So I'm definitely going to read that one. I want to read all of them. Why isn't my job just reading books all day? 9 of Bells. Love that. 9 of Candles. See, again, I just love how like there's, you know, older people in here. I've just kind of gotten tired of decks with like all like young, beautiful people, you know, and all that. So I really like this so far. This is 9 of Tomes. 9 of Vials. Oh, look at that. I love that. And the Hermit. How cool is that? It looks like she's like levitating. And the 10 of Bells. Wow, that's pretty powerful. So it looks like she's got an arrow maybe in her back, and there's like blood coming up, and she's like plunging underwater, and she's got all these bells falling around her. Her feet are tied too to one of the bells. So, wow. I'm just gonna have to sit with a lot of these cards because they're just really powerfully done, I think. 10 of Candles, like that just really to me speaks of overwhelming burden. You know, you can just see it. It's just like, and she's got all that on her shoulders and her back. 10 of Tomes. Oh. It's a library. It's my happy place. 10 of Vials. And the Wheel of Fortune. Justice. The Hanged One. Death. Temperance. Oh, I like that Temperance card. That's a nice one. The Shadow. Oh my gosh, look at that. That is pretty powerful. The Shadow. Every time, you know, unfortunately, I used to listen to, not unfortunately, but I used to listen to old radio programming, The Shadow, The Shadow Knows. And now every time I hear The Shadow, I'm like, The Shadow Knows. I don't remember all that much about it because I was so little, but that one phrase sticks to my mind. The Tower. The Star. The Moon. This is an interesting one. The Sun. The Awakening, or just Awakening. Wow. The World. And finally, the Numinous. I love that. I can't wait to read more about that card. I love that though. Love it. I really like that deck. I think it's really cool. Really cool how, what does it say? Does it say gender neutral or what is it? Yeah, gender neutral language. The deck and the guidebook, which I really like because I know it's important. Like I appreciate the balance of masculine and feminine energy in a deck and all that stuff. Like I do, but honestly, I think that it's nice sometimes to just, that's why I think I like animal decks and stuff like that sometimes, because it's just very, it's easier to apply all the situations in the tarot to yourself, because honestly, it's your journey is through the entire deck. So being able to see yourself in all the cards, is important, I think. And even though, ooh, they shuffle pretty nice. Let's see. I thought I had messed up the edges, but it was just some dust. Okay, perfect. Yeah, even though there's some, some of the characters are male and some are female, I still think that the gender neutral language, language is so important, and I think that having it gender neutral is really nice. Like the nurturer instead of the empress, and what was the other one? Some of the other ones I thought, like the hanged one instead of the hanged man, and just having the different court cards be renamed so it's not Page, Knight, Queen, King, because honestly, still, like, even though it's all balanced and that's all great, and that can be great for certain things, but like, it still feels kind of like a hierarchy, and the king being the top court card, like, it still feels very patriarchal sometimes, like, and right now in this moment in my life in Alabama, like, I just don't want to deal with the patriarchy right now. All right, so they seem to shuffle pretty well. I think I just have some dust on them. Yeah. Okay, well, let's pull a card. And the top one wants to, oh, the star. Look at that. I love that. Like, I really just love that. So let's look that up and see what that is all about. The star. So the description says, a magical being lays on a puffy purple cloud, relaxed and calm. The fabric of the universe, a night sky of stars, twinkles through the fingers of their prosthetic hand like water. Oh, I totally missed that. Prosthetic hand. Yeah, definitely. I don't know if you can tell now. A prosthetic hand. Their hair appears to be made of the same darkness and stardust as it melds with the sky behind them. Another cloud drifts across the sky above them, and we can see several constellations of the zodiac represented. So then there's quite a bit of, words. There's quite a few words, verbiage here. So I'm just going to read just a little bit. So it says, upright meaning, after disaster, hope. For millennia, the stars have been used to guide humanity, whether for physical navigation or spiritual. They are ancient and beautiful wonders, an incomprehensible distance away, rarely changing to the common eye, and yet we are made of the same particles as they. Their brilliance is mirrored in our souls, their vastness in our hearts, their steadiness in our bones. Love that. And that's just the first paragraph, and there's more. But I'm just going to skip to the keywords. So the keywords for the upright are hope, guidance, connected to the world, and beauty. And so then we have reversed meanings. When the star is reversed, the figure falls off of their cloud and into the one that's now just below them. This cloud obscures the night sky entirely, blotting out the stars and extinguishing the path we'd just begun to follow. We no longer have a way to orient ourselves in the darkness and may feel extremely lost and confused. There's a couple more paragraphs, but I'm going to skip those. Keywords: despair, hopelessness, obscured vision, and depression. Oh, that's so sad. So that's interesting, because a lot of times what I tend to do is I tend to read, if I'm using reverse meanings at all, which I don't always, but I tend to read like the reversed as either a blocked of the upright or as a slightly less powerful version of the upright. So yeah, so sometimes and if all the cards in a reading are reversed, I just turn them upright because I'm like, well, I somehow, like, if it's all of them, I'm like, no. But this has very specific reversed meanings, so I might actually have to try reading with reversals and see how this does with this deck. I am just over the moon with this deck. I am so excited. Like, oh, it's just something about, you know, waiting for so long for something, and then it comes and it's like all as amazing as you hoped it would be. It's just so nice. And look what was on top there, the Visionary, one of my favorite cards. Okay, so that is the Numinous Tarot. I want it to tell me if it's the second edition, but I am not seeing that in here. Oh, second printing, yes. So second printing. So then that's probably it then. Because I don't want to say that like a million times and be completely wrong. So not 100% sure. I think it's the second edition. Pretty sure it is. Okay, so that's the Numinous Tarot, and I hope that if you're still watching, I hope you enjoyed that unboxing. Thank you so much for watching, and I will catch you next time. All right, have a good one.